Hallo, hello, welcome. I need to do it in English. Hi, welcome here on the Nimbus, on the Nimbus W11 on the boat show Boat Düsseldorf 2024. And I'm happy to have two friends sitting next to me, very good friends and also, for sure colleagues. Stéphane Delfinot from Dolphy Services in the south of France, Golfe Juan. He's responsible for the area, for the whole Côte d'Azur area, and you have been working with Nimbus, like we have been colleagues since
more than 20 years.
More than 20 years.
More than 20 years, yes.
More than 20 years. And then Jonas, as well with you, it's I would say first a friendship, and secondly like a business as well, and we are also working since I remember together. Yeah.
I met you the first time 30 years ago, but then I worked with your father.
That's true. Yeah, very good. So yeah, it's a setup we just decided because we all three really like this W11 concept. I have not been in the situation having had a vacation on that boat. You also not, but you having a boat now at the moment lying in Golfe Juan. That's the boat we had at the Cannes boat show.
Yeah, and we did use it a little to see how it can be used, and we have to we noticed few very positive points. First of all, the sun top, which can be opened. This is what we have already on the V9, and the very good point that we have also is the platform, hydraulic platform, because it's very helpful to use the boat to go to swim and increase the capacity of the boat, because it can go lower and also upper. So this is a really very strong point from the boat.
And there's not many, I think, companies yet to have that with the outboards. So you were with HB Technik, one of the first shipyards who had their new outboard system in place. This is, yeah, I think one of the first ones.
Yeah, I think we were, and also one of the first who made a platform go both down below in the water and also upwards, like working as a passerella, you can see, if you reverse into docking.
So very important, we've shown that I think on the Cannes video, so that the platform goes down below the water or at the water line, or you can, as you said, just move it also up and then going over more or less a staircase towards the pier.
Yes.
And you don't have the issue, which is one of the few disadvantages of an outboard system, that you have problems docking backwards, as this platform is going around the outboards and more or less kills then the only big weak point. If it's same in Mallorca as well in the south of France, because people are intended normally a motorboat to dock backwards, as now we know that most of the outboards boats are to be docked forwards, which then is a problem because the outboard is exposed very much, or some marinas don't even allow them always to be put up. So this is a big advantage for that, especially when you're on the mooring where it's very tight.
Yeah, especially here now in south of France, because the outboard market is growing up, and now most of the outboard stations will refuse to park the boat on the front to get the engine out. So
because it's dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous, and for insurance also. So this is why we are very happy about the V11 that we have in Golfe Juan, because of the platform. As Jonas mentioned, it's like a gangway, a passerelle also, but now we put the boat on the back, and we have the pontoon is quite high, so it's a direct access, so easy to access to the boat, which we have not. That is the one point. And second point, as we mentioned, when you would like to swim, it's very easy to use for everybody. So that is a very good and strong point. We did discuss, as you mentioned, that I think it was on the C11 3 years before, we discussed about this project, if I'm right. Yeah.
But you are the only one of us three who really used that boat, both for living on board. I think you were with your wife Ulla on a trip to Norway even, or you took it
close to Norway. Close to Norway.
So from Göteborg, it's quite a trip, and you took it also back from a boat show in Norway, and you had some serious waves going back. And this is, I think, where you really just tell me a little bit how that was, because you had, you got partly going more or less out on the North Sea on the
that was actually Niklas, my colleague, who did that. But I've had some serious waves in that too. But that's absolutely correct. We had a boat all the way up from Oslo, which is around 150 nautical miles. He took the boat, and partly when you come out of the Oslo fjord, we meet the North Sea, you can say, and there's some serious waves there, and it's a trip on 150 nautical miles, and the boat handled that beautifully because.
And you're very protected, so
exactly,
this is maybe you can just show once the idea, Nico, of the how we protected. We are like if we would be sitting here at sea with the windscreen going all the way back, which is a little bit a memory of old Nimbus, like the 32 Ballista on some, like in the very past. Or other manufacturers are producing these kind of boats with a long windscreen to the back. So we have many colleagues there, but I think not many are doing this with outboards.
No.
And probably nobody is doing it with the asymmetric decks design, which we all really much like because it makes us easy to use the boat in a full scale, like going to the front deck, going backwards, this whole walking on the boat. Maybe Nico, can you just show the sidewalk, because this is one of the key points of the W11 in comparison to many boats on the market.
Yeah,
and differently. Sorry, interrupt. Differently to the sister or brother or whatever you say, the C11, which is the same hull, and the T11, which is the same hull. They're both symmetric. And here we have the asymmetric design, which is really something I think Nimbus more or less. I would say no, you invented it, but you put it on a level throughout your whole fleet, especially in the coupe world, which you were the first one pushing it, I would say, in a full fleet.
Yeah, we did, and I think actually we were among the first to do that on the 30 Nova S, for instance.
Yes.
Coming back to what you said on the W11, in my own experience with this boat is, I had several day cruisers from Nimbus in my past, both the 22 DC, the 26 Epoca, and the Ballista that I own and drive a lot. And the W11 for me represents the best of two worlds, actually. I'm driving a Nova now myself, but this combines the amazing seating area, the protected seating area, long range cruising, which you have in a proper day cruiser, along with the easy to move around in the Nova. So it's for me it's brilliant. And when I was out with my wife, we was out for nearly a week going up the coastline.
You were even two couples on board, huh?
We were two couples on board. Yeah, we were with friends as well. So we have 4 people.
4 people who spent a week on board.
Yeah.
And
it's quite easy. Easy to move around, and it's actually one of the first time my wife Ulrika said I absolutely love this boat because it's so easy to move around. Always feel protected by going to the front deck, and we had also amazing good days, and so we had a good time on the boat, and everybody were at his best.
And what we have, did you have it with the V10s? It's now with V8s, so you had also proper cruising. You could easily do 35 knots of cruising, or?
Yes, correct. We had a V10s on that, and it's
so this is also like for a 12.5 meter boat, 35 cruising, which means for you going to Corsica in 2 hours, which is for many people's dream in the south of France. In the end, it's not so many doing it, because I did this trip several times. It was not like many boats going parallel, and it was end of July. So normally you would imagine, you would go in with a convoy.
We bring back the boat from Genova.
Yes.
We had a very strong wind and big sea. It was not me but my colleague, and it was very secure to bring it back. We must say there was only 2 boats, V11, T11 at sea,
nobody else.
And we like also to mention something which I like very much, because you talk about the Nova, but we get back to a good idea that we have in the past on the 35 Nova, 34 Nova, this area on the left, which was upgrade because
it's a co-driver area. So
exactly.
the co-driver
that is a very good,
can like sit here and being relaxed, folding this backward, same height than the driver, and really having enjoyable time, like in the coupe, and seeing forward as we have it in the coupe.
Yeah. Or that was on the Nova, if you remember, it was very clever idea, and then he disappeared, and now he's back, and it's combination between the coupe.
Okay, that's good.
And it was a combination.
To point that out as well, I mean, while going this long distance with a boat, when you have 4 people on board, you're cruising like 50 nautical miles, 60 nautical miles. That position is very comfy for the co-driver, and you can really sit and talk to each other. You can put your legs up there, what you just did, Patrick, or have a footrest. So it's gives the boat a very good feeling and ambience on board.
And this year also, if I may say that you have it now on the 465, just much bigger, but it's the same idea of a co-driver,
exactly.
cozy area.
That's
And what I really like is like a proper, because the kitchen is moved to the side, there's a proper kitchen, So, Stefan, if you just move, like you see, this typical Nimbus, really like full kitchen, cutlery inside and so on. This I really like. It's close to the table and up.
Very close to the table, so very functionality, easy to use because you have the kitchen next to the table, as you mentioned. So everything is well done and well think. The boat is really to be used, not like a boat that you see like this and it's nice, but it's even much more than that.
What I really like is that I can stand at the helm. So it's not like that you try to make the guest cabin as big as possible, which many shipyards do, which is then losing this head, or which is generating head space to taking away foot space here, which I really like, because in the end of the day you're more at the helm than in the guest cabin. So here I can sit proper with a proper footrest, but if I fold that up I can stand, and I can even go a little bit higher, lean myself, so it's really a helm position like on a big boat. And this is very important being at sea, especially when you do trips we just discussed, then you want this area. If you're squeezed behind a helm, it's the worst thing you can do, and we know many shipyards doing that just to get some headroom in the guest cabin.
But you need to do the long distance to really understand how that works. Yes. You need to go to the heavy condition, you need to push it. So that's a very good thing.
Then
what you said, Stefan, with this one, like in Sweden, where we used the boat, I mean, we are blessed if we have 5 days of sun without any wind. But when we have these 5 days, you really want it. For sure. So so everything comes off. So that's very good.
And I would say with you and with Tom in Mallorca and you in south of France, is most of the time it's probably shut 90%. So you just get a little breeze in. And then you will have all the sides open, as you would do the other way around. You will have these closed, so not getting the wind in, and then on the other hand you're having the sun warming you up.
Correct.
So,
but I also had a fortune of driving this boat, since I travel around a lot in my work driving boats. So I had a fortune to driving both in Cannes. We had a whole company out when we introduced this boat.
There's an amazing picture. There was on the platform. We got there with another boat, and I think there was probably 20 people. Probably not CE conform, but it was like lake level. But it was like 20 people sitting on the platform. That was amazing.
And I dived in and swim around and took that photo, and it was amazing actually. It was
very nice.
Very much appreciated.
What would you say is now I would say it's gonna be a strong boat in Mallorca. I think for you as well in the south of France. It will even take, I would say, some share of the T11, because some people who bought the T11 wanted the T11 is an amazing boat, but people want somehow a little bit more coziness on board, and this delivers this coziness because it's a little bit more protected.
We saw this in the past with the T9 and the V9. We had the T9, and then we had the V9, and some of the customers prefer the V9 because it's much more cozy, and on the other side you have more space to go around with the T9, and I think it will be the same. Also, what we can mention if we compare with the T11, the next point will be that on the V11 on the cabin you have more space, because as we mentioned we have the sidewalk only on one side, so it means that on the port side we extend the dimension and we have more height in the cabin, so maybe some of the customer will be more interest on the V11 in comparison with the T11. So it's also another thing which has to be pointed out, because I think the cabin is really cozy on this boat.
We should have a look. Like Nico, you go in, but the light is off, I think. I don't know if we go all in, but we can talk about it when Nico is moving in there. No, I think just turn around and just show the front again, because we have this huge windows on both sides, which we know from the T11. But what we have is much more headroom in comparison to the other boats, and we have a big hatch there in the top with a mosquito, and so what it makes it possible. What I like, I can sleep with a head front, which on the T11 is maybe a little bit too tiny. I really like this one room concept. You also, huh? We all do.
Yeah.
You know, too many walls in the boat is just making it
look
crap. You know,
easier to use without all the door in between. So and it gives you a better feeling with a better space also.
It's like the Americans did that in the past a
Yeah.
lot. The only thing what the Americans did strange then, they always made a table in the front.
Yeah,
Which
on
I
the
never
old
understood.
Syria, if
Yes,
you
yeah.
remember, it was like that.
Which I never understood. Why
Yeah.
would you sit down here?
Yeah.
But in the end, this one room is like a
Yeah.
little bit an American idea, I think. Yeah. Then we have a proper toilet in here, which is this is all good for like a long weekend trip. But as you did, I did on the T11 many trips of 2 weeks, so this is not an issue at all. But we're now standing here with 3 people. Jonas is quite a tall guy, so there's enough space in there. Maybe we look a little bit cramped here, but it's like three guys standing here, and the walkway is not the normal setup. Anything else we want to say?
I think for the cabin, it's we say most of the things. As we said, with the comparison of the T11, we have much more space on the front. Same bathroom as we had on the T11. So with a separate shower, this is what
people want.
Yeah, exactly. Very important. And then we have the second cabin, so we can have some.
Maybe we go.
We can have.
Jonas shows it, and we go out because otherwise it's too full.
Here you see the mid cabin, which you easily can squeeze in 2 people in, or the children. It's tight to the roof, like Patrick said, but you gain the space on the driver's seat, which is very important. So, come on up.
So what we should go once to the front. Maybe you can give me even the camera, so we don't need to. So what is new as well is this
The backrest.
the backrest,
Yes.
yeah, which is very nice. Jonas, put yourself down there.
Maybe I'm not the best model for this, Patrick, but anyway, I'll try.
Are you looking good?
It's very comfy.
Now it is nice with the backrest because it's a head up. This is very nice. Then we have a big storage here as well for fenders or water toys or a life raft. And what I really like is the anchor setup on the VTC 11, because the anchor is hardly not standing over. We have a rubber list all the way going out, proper anchor winch, horizontal, and 50 meter of chain. So this is a proper setup of the anchor.
Just to be back on the front, really good that you mentioned this, Patrick, because this is really, really important to get the free access from the front. If we compare with other boats, without the anchor, with the anchor integrate, it's so easy to come in and out, and this is really very, very important for us. You can check on the coupe series, it's the same. We have still the same accommodation where we can easily go in and out from the front part.
And the anchor is the rubber list is protecting the anchor. Yeah. So we don't have a pulpit which is stuck in other boats when the wind catches us or whatever.
Also, what Nimbus do, and we say thank you for that. Now we have the sunshade on the front. And this is really good because I think they don't need that in Sweden, but they do it for us. So thank you. And also they do it on the correct way, because why? They use the carbon fixation, which is very easy to use, very easy to integrate on the boat. So this is a clever tension also of the cover. So as we can see, every time when Nimbus do something, they really go into the space to get it very functionality, not only make it like that, but behind it's really thinking. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
We try to have a thought about every part that we do, and one other thing that mentioned is also that we have anti-slip pattern here in the front of that,
and even this small hole here to get the ropes into the anchor box. It's very little thing, very little details, but in this daily seamanship, very important.
Absolutely, and in the front, up in the Nordic countries, we actually moor the boat to the front, which you very seldom do. But then you need to have a proper step off. We moor it to the side sometimes as well, and you see anti-slip pattern also in the back. We easily step everywhere so that you can move around easy in the boat. That's something that you experience that when you use the boat.
Good. Anything else? No. It's particular. We have roof racks. Everybody has them nowadays. So stand-up paddling is, I don't know, stand-up paddling is probably, the most grown activity on water sports you
guess
can
it
see
is.
all
Yeah,
over the world. Who did invent this stand-up paddling boards should be rich, but it's probably not. It's now Carrefour. No, we should say, I think that's it. Haben wir irgendeine Frage? Nee, nix. That's it. Thanks.
I think it is, yes.
Yeah, I think the most is said. Thank you very much for watching here from the W11 of the boat Düsseldorf, and we're going to do several other boats during the whole week, some in English, some in German. Thanks Stefan for being here. You're going home tomorrow already, but your colleagues are here.
Thank you, Patrick.
We will be all
Thank you,
week
Stefan.
here.
Good.
Thank you, Jonathan.
And it was a pleasure with you guys, and I hope we're going to see you at sea the next time with the W11. I think this is the aim we should have.
Absolutely.
Maybe in Corsica together.
Maybe Corsica together. Yeah, for sure.
There's
I'm on.
something
I'm on.
Okay, good. Okay,
Good.
bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.